One. Hello and welcome
to the Woman's Cave. Oh my goodness, thank you, Winona, for
to share.
Thank you for sharing with me. I'm Jay, though.
And I'm Winona.
I mean, and we were super professional. So high five, social distance style on that.
Wait, the woo kind of killed the professional.
Oh well, we can't stay in that buttoned
to
up.
The professional.
We can't stay buttoned up for long. It's just not us. We just like, we want to be free. Anyway, we have books and everything that you can check out about the ladies on www.andweezer.com. But we have our co-host Tanya Todd today, and we'll have her introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Tanya Todd. I'm an author, actress, and screenwriter in Las Vegas.
Fabulous. Thank you, Tanya. But y'all aren't here to hear about our short introductions or long introductions. What you're here to hear from is our wonderful guest with the gorgeous glasses.
Parisian glasses. Jealous. Would you like to introduce yourself, Gayle?
Yes. Hi, I'm Gayle Kirschenbaum, and I am a filmmaker, writer, photographer, and forgiveness coach.
Ooh. Wait, does that mean if I make you mad, then you will forgive me? And that's not my question.
I'll work real hard, but I know how to do it. I know the method.
Thank you. So we only have one question per person today. My question is, how did you go from unscripted to scripted?
Is that to me?
Yes.
Oh, I never went to script. You mean scripted film?
Yeah. You did scripted shows and unscripted, and you were on part of an unscripted show, right?
Okay, so my whole world is in TV and television is unscripted. So I come from doing documentaries and reality-based shows, and then I started making my own films, but they're deeply personal docs. Yeah.
Oh. You consider those documentaries? I consider them all just wonderful pieces of film.
I did. You had it in the wrong section in our brains. How about that?
No problem.
No, Tanya has a wonderful question. I know she does, because Tanya has the best question.
It's not so much a question, it's just you've had an amazing journey, and I want you to just tell us a little bit about that and how you got your start and how you got to where you are now.
Okay, so we're all born with something, right? So I was born a very sensitive person, artistic. So I was drawing since I was a little kid, and seeing and feeling and hearing everything as a highly sensitive person. So into a not a very good childhood, I have a TED Talk out called No More Drama with Mama, which was the result of a film, my really personal movie called Look at Us Now, Mother, about my journey to forgive my mother with my mother over several years. So the social worker said, you better get out of your house. By 16, I was gone. But I got into university young, and I just entered the art department because I was always artistic. Anyway, and then my journey, eventually I wanted to tell stories. And then I went out to Los Angeles, and I went into television. So I started doing storytelling through television, docs and reality-based shows. And then I moved back to my home, which is New York, and I started making my own films. I ended up turning the camera on myself because I had this idea for a show with my dog. And so I had a camera built for her. Now, this is so many years ago. People go, oh, GoPro. This is before GoPro ever existed. The guy who did the cameras for, Taxi Cab Confessions on HBO, he built me a camera for my dog. And she's not with us anymore, but she was a little Shih Tzu. So that suddenly got me so much press, major, 2-page feature in the New York Times. And back in the day, when we used to read newspapers. So that
for the listeners, what's the name of that film?
It's called A Dog's Life, a Dogamentary, DOGAMENTAY. So it's a new genre. So actually 9/11's in that film, because while I was shooting it happened, and I lived 30 blocks north. So it's really compelling. It premiered on HBO, and you could see it on Amazon now. So if you go to Prime Video and Google that. And that put me in front of the camera. I was sort of hiding behind my dog. And people were like, oh, you're funny, you're this, you're that. So then I just kept making personal films. And the last one, Look at Us Now, Mother, is about my journey to forgive my mother, because prior to that, I made a film called My Nose. I made it for her, about her trying to get me to have a nose job, which I refused to, and no, I never did. So the reaction to that little funny, fluffy, 13-minute film made me realize so many people are in pain, that they haven't resolved conflicts with a parent who could be long gone, and that I need to help. and my journey is finding forgiveness. So that led to the feature doc, and which premiered in the theaters and festivals, theaters, and then Netflix. Now that's also on Amazon. That's how I got invited to do the TED Talk, which I call No More Drama with Mama. And in the midst of all that, so now I talk and teach on forgiveness. But, I kind of have a full cycle creatively, because as much, when you're an empath, you understand people, and I'm sure, Tanya, you as a creative, you can relate, when you're, ladies, we know when you're a creative, you're feeling, you're hearing, you're seeing everything, but also you take it all in. So hearing so many stories one-on-one was kind of like getting to me. And so, you know what? I fell into photography, which is what I studied in art school. And it's the iPhone that brought me back. So I now have this fine art photography career. So my work could be seen online. I've got all these collectors. No one can believe I'm using the iPhone for it. So what's good about that is I don't have to raise money. So I'm working on the memoir for the book because an agent came to me. So it's my story and my journey. So that's also like reliving trauma. But it's important that my mission in life is to create work that helps people. That's my mission. I want to help people. Yeah.
I love it.
And you're right. Being an empath, you collect all of these emotions, and sometimes it really weighs on you. It sounds like you're using it as an opportunity to express it through art, which is going to help other people as well as being therapeutic to yourself.
Yeah.
I love that so much. And it does connect to our poetry and all kinds of wonderful things. I mean, it's a pleasure talking to you, first and foremost, because as a writer and as a poet, you do start to collect people's feelings and things, and you have to deal with that as you're dealing with your own trauma. And I find writing to be very therapeutic for me. But
it's very
So you have so much stuff coming up, and I just want to know where people can find you. But first, I want to know, what are like the 2 top pieces of advice that you would tell people? Because everyone tries to tell creatives that it makes no money and you should not do this as a life. You should do something else. You should be like an accountant. So what top 2 things?
I feel you have to follow your passion and you have to be authentic. I keep thinking about Oprah's line, be your authentic self. I think the reason my film has had an incredible impact is it's so real, and it's not a vanity piece. So I think it's about trusting your own instincts and go your passion, because people will connect to you when you're honest and when you're real, and don't be afraid. Because just doing that regular job, I actually never did that in my life. So it's not like I lived a corporate America job, career, and then I left it. So I never lived with that, weekly check and the security and stuff, which I don't have the pension, which is fine. But I think it's really, but I've been creatively fulfilled. And the most important thing is when I see the impact my work has on people, when I've gotten so many emails and letters, and they find me through all the social media. When I get something, like a woman, I guess, wrote me through the email, and she's a very prominent chef. And she said she's been estranged from her mother, for years on and off. And she's around my age, and she's read every book on the topic. And she said, your film did it. And, when I get things like that, even like celebrities, I don't even know them. Like, Susie Orman, the financial guru. You guys know, okay. So she saw it when it opened up in Florida, and she went on her little Twitter feed, she's 1,500, 1.5 million followers, and said she just saw, thank you, my handle at Gayle Kirschenbaum. I just saw Look at Us Now, Mother. It helped me a lot. Everyone must see it. So it's very rewarding when, and when I cut that and I edited it, and ladies, it's different when you do a scripted movie because you're kind of following the script, but the writing of a doc comes together in the edit room. And as I was sitting and editing, all the choices I made was, I didn't give a shit if I didn't care if I looked like crap, in that shot. People were like, you look terrible, or why are you using that? I said, it's not about how I look. If this scene is going to help people learn, because I'm not an angel, I'm not always good, my abuse in my childhood and my scars have affected me. I've learned how to deal with it, but it's not like I'm anger free. but I learned the tools of how to handle it, and no one could believe that I'm here with my mother now. I mean, she's become my dearest friend, and no one could believe I even speak to who witnessed my childhood. Never would imagine that. So anyway, through our creative expressions as rural creatives, for me, is when I have that impact, you know, when I can see that my work is helping people. And you're right, you know, when I was in college, I think a lot of us who have had troubled childhoods, when we go to college, we think, oh, maybe we'll be therapists, you know. And I actually, you know, went and volunteered in a mental health hospital, and then I worked at the TV station, actually doing the graphics. And I realized I don't want to spend my life around sick people. So I went in the creative direction, which, you know, when you're just innately gifted in understanding people, and I think as creatives we are, particularly writers, it helped me as a director and helped me in my field of creating and storytelling. But then life became a full cycle because I turned the cameras on myself, which I never expected to. And now I'm like, I've become the accidental therapist, actually coaching and helping people because of my sharing of my own story, right?
Yeah, you got to merge the two things. So where can people find out more about you and what you're doing, your website, and your photography?
Okay, so I would go to one of my main site now. I have to redo the production one, but it's my name. So Gayle, Gayle Kirschenbaum, KIRSCHEN, B like boy, AUM.com. I don't know if you're going to post it or something, or are they going to get it from that? And so if you go there, there's a tab for photography. And actually next Thursday, I'm doing a walkthrough of my current exhibit. So people seem to love that. And you could just sign up. It's free, and you could just sign up for that. But yeah, and then
coming on, we really appreciate it. Hopefully you'll come back for part 2, because we would love to talk more with you. Tanya, where can people find more about you?
I'm on social media at Ms. Tanya Todd, or my website, mstanyatodd.com.
Okay, and thank y'all for joining us today. And you can just follow your ladies on www.andwethought.com. Everything's there, including the charities that we proudly support. So just remember, wisdom is all around you if
you're open to finding it and accepting it. It's a peace and love, you guys, from Will Nona
and Jade. Oh yeah, thanks for listening.